Every civilization has asked the same question: what is real? And more importantly, how do we know? Today, we journey back nearly 2,400 years to the mind of one of the history's greatest philosophers, Plato, and explore his timeless allegory of the cave. Plato was born in Athens around 428 BCE during a time of political upheaval, artistic brilliance, and a philosophical revolution. He lived until 348 BCE, leaving behind a legacy that shaped Western thought for millennia. Plato was a student of Socrates, the man who walked the streets of Athens asking uncomfortable questions. After Socrates' execution, Plato devoted his life to preserving his teacher's ideas and expanding them into a vast philosophical system. He founded the Academy, one of the earliest institutions of higher learning in the Western world. There he wrote dialogues exploring ethics, politics, metaphysics, and the nature of knowledge. His works include The Republic, The Symposium, Phaedo, and Timaeus, texts that continue to influence philosophy, psychology, and even modern science. But among all his ideas, one stands out as a profound metaphor for human existence: the allegory of the cave. Plato invites us into a cave, not a real one, but a symbolic space, a place where shadows dance, illusions thrive, and truth waits patiently outside. This allegory is more than a story, it's a mirror, a way to see ourselves. Imagine a deep underground cave. Inside it, a group of prisoners have been chained since birth. Their legs and necks are fixed so they cannot turn around. All they can see is the wall in front of them. Behind them burns a fire. Between the fire and the prisoners is a walkway where people carry objects, statues, tools, carvings, casting shadows on the wall. For the prisoners, these shadows are the entire world. They name them, they categorize them, they believe them to be real. They do not know the fire. They do not know the people behind them. They do not know the world outside the cave. To them, the shadows are reality. Now imagine that one prisoner is freed. At first, he resists. His neck aches, his eyes burn, the fire behind him is painful to look at. He realizes the shadows were not real objects, only reflections. His entire worldview collapses. This moment is uncomfortable, disorienting, even frightening. Plato suggests that enlightenment begins not with clarity, but with confusion. Growth often feels like pain before it becomes wisdom. The freed prisoner is then dragged or guided out of the cave. The sunlight overwhelms him. He shields his eyes. Everything is too bright, too vivid, too real. But slowly, his vision adjusts. He sees reflections in water, then objects themselves, then the world in its fullness: trees, mountains, animals, people. Finally, he looks at the sun, not directly, but with understanding. He realizes the sun is the source of all light, all growth, all life. For Plato, the sun symbolizes the ultimate truth, the form of the good, the highest reality. Now comes the most tragic part of the story. The enlightened prisoner returns to the cave to help the others. But inside the darkness, he can no longer see the shadows clearly. The prisoners laugh at him. They think he's gone blind. They mock his journey. Some even threaten to kill anyone who tries to free them. Plato's message is sharp. People resist truth when it threatens their familiar illusions. The cave is not a literal place, it's a metaphor for the human condition. The shadow represents illusion, beliefs shaped by culture, media, habit, and fear. The prisoners represent comfortable in our assumptions. The journey upward represents education, self-reflection, and philosophical inquiry. The sun represents truth, difficult, blinding, but liberating. Plato believed most people live in a world of appearances, mistaking shadows for reality. True wisdom requires turning around, questioning what we think we know. Even though Plato wrote this allegory in ancient Greece, it feels strangely modern. We live in a world of screens, curated images, filtered realities. We scroll through shadows, fragments of truth shaped by algorithms and attention. We often mistake popularity for truth, noise for knowledge, and comfort for clarity. Plato's cave reminds us to pause, to question, to look beyond the surface, to seek the source of light rather than its reflections. Psychologists often interpret the cave as a metaphor for the mind. The shadows are our assumptions, biases, fears, and stories we tell ourselves. The chains are our habits and conditioning. The journey upward is the process of self-awareness. When we confront our inner fire, our ego, our illusions, we begin to see the world more clearly. This is why the allegory resonates with spiritual traditions like Buddhism, Taoism, and Zen. Enlightenment is not about gaining new beliefs, but seeing through old illusions. Plato also intended a political message. He believed society often rewards conformity and punishes those who question the status quo. The enlightened individual, the philosopher, sees beyond the shadows, but when they return to share their insights, they are often misunderstood or rejected. This is why Plato argued that philosophers should guide society, not because they are superior, but because they have seen a deeper truth. Whether we agree with him or not, the allegory challenges us to examine how societies shape our beliefs. Spiritually, the cave represents the journey from ignorance to awakening. Many traditions describe a similar path. In Buddhism, it is seen through illusion, Maya. In Taoism, it is aligning with the way, Tao. In Hindu philosophy, it's realizing the self, Atman. In mystical Christianity, it is stepping into the divine light. Plato's allegory is not tied to any religion. It's a universal map of awakening, a reminder that truth is not given but discovered. So, how do we escape our own caves? Plato suggests 3 practices. Number 1, question your assumptions. Is this true? How do I know? Number 2, seek deeper understanding. Read widely, reflect, listen to diverse perspectives. Number 3, turn inward. Much of the cave exists within us. Our fears, biases, and unexamined beliefs. Escaping the cave is not a one-time event, it's a lifelong journey. Plato's allegory of the cave is not just a story about ancient prisoners. It is a story about us, about the courage it takes to seek truth, the humility to admit we were wrong, and the compassion to help others see more clearly. The cave is comfortable, the shadows are familiar, but the world outside is vast, beautiful, waiting. Thank you. Consider subscribing for more philosophical reflections.